Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What has this process been like for you?
It's been different for sure. It's my first time in going on 12 years being able to have this opportunity to essentially pick where I go. So it's definitely a different opportunity, but one that's been it's been fun. Honestly, the period hasn't been too long since I've been a free man, but and Sean wanted to make sure he kept it that way. That's for sure. I was actually just in Japan on a trip with some of my friends out there, and I mean, I thought he was out there too, just based off of I was talking to him more than I was talking to my wife. But he definitely showed a lot of interest, and there's a lot of teams that reached out. You never know how that process is going to go when you haven't gone through it. And being 32 years old and going through it for the first time is definitely a different experience. But it was fun and didn't last too long. But I'm glad to be around now.
What was enticing to you about coming to the Rams?
There's a lot of different things that already appealed, and honestly, coming into it knowing that this may be a thing, that I would be a free agent, is already something that was on my radar. And after speaking with a lot of a couple players, Sean and a couple of the other personnel, it was clear that this is where I needed to be. Definitely the most eager organization to reach out, whether it was the understanding of contracts or understanding of where I am in my game. Obviously, having an opportunity to play with Matthew is a heck of an opportunity, and can't wait to get started with that. And obviously, the rest of the team too. Being able to be with a contender at this point in my career is something I've been waiting for a while now, and been putting the work in to make it happen. But now we got it, so it's exciting.
Your agent made a public comment just about this being a place you could see yourself finishing your career at. What is it about this opportunity that feels like kind of, I guess, maybe a storybook type of situation for you?
Yeah, well, obviously going to the Raiders after leaving Green Bay was what I thought was a storybook at that time, and it was an amazing opportunity. But being from California, obviously coming back and being really close to home, having my family in my backyard, a lot of friends that are in the area, so having my support system, because I'm a real simple dude. My family and friends mean a lot to me, so being able to have them have easy access to me out here is it's a good feeling for me, just knowing I get to kind of have that support, keep it real tight and stay close to family. And obviously, like I said, being a part of a great franchise and a great team that made a great push last year, and I'm just here to be another piece to hopefully get over the hump.
From what you've seen from afar, what do you appreciate the most about the way Matthew Stafford plays quarterback?
He don't make it any harder than it need to be out there. He's simple. You look at dating back to when Megatron broke the record. I think he needed like $180 something, and he went and got him like 220 something. So seeing that, just knowing that in that situation, I don't think they were headed anywhere near the playoffs. But to play in that game and to not check out in the last game of the year and know how much that means to Megatron and know how much it means to him to be a part of something like that, it just says the type of person that he is. And kind of playing each other over the years and coming crossing paths a few times, I gathered that he was a pretty nice, straightforward guy, and never hear anything bad in the media or anything like that. So, coming out here and getting a chance to meet with him and talk to him a little bit today just kind of solidified it. Talked to him while I was in Japan as well. He reached out and let me know he was excited about the opportunity, and I don't know if he was quite as eager as Sean was, but it's still a good feeling knowing that the quarterback wants you to be there too.
Davante, what was your how much did you talk to Sean? You said you talked to him a lot while you were in Japan. What was his pitch to you to kind of get you over here?
Well, he just basically let me know that we connected, I think 2019 at the Derby out in Kentucky, and he kind of told me at that point, because I think we played you guys in 2018. So he made a comment, and he was just like, "Look, man, I got a lot of respect for your game, and it'd be amazing at some point to be able to, team up, join forces, and figure it out together on the same team." And at that point, you're on a different team, so you're like, "Yeah, it'd be cool one day," but to have it be a real thing now, and him to have the opportunity to make sure that it didn't slip away, because he certainly made sure it did not slip away. And that was something that drew me kind of even closer to the Rams, just knowing how much I was wanted, and having different players reach out to, that was another thing that meant a lot to me. So yeah, it's a good feeling just being wanted and knowing what you still can contribute and bring to the game. So it's always good when the other side or the organization views you the same way as you view yourself.
How do you describe Sean as a recruiter?
Was that
How do you describe Sean as a recruiter?
aggressive? I'll say aggressive, but in all the right ways though. He sent me a couple highlight tapes of myself narrating. It was kind of John Gruden-esque a little bit, and you know how he is with ball. So he's breaking down every single clip. The first one was like 7 minutes, and then he sent another one that was like probably another 2 minutes, where he's just going through everything, talking about it like he's. I thought he took that job to be on TV for a minute when I was watching it, but yeah, it just shows how much ball means to him, how much of a priority I was for him, and the rest of the guys here, because obviously it's not just him making those decisions. So, but when you have that from a coach, and you're on the free market and you don't see it from anybody else to that level, it means a lot. Kind of felt like I got gamed up a little bit, but as long as I'm here, it doesn't matter.
He's spoken really highly of you and just how much football you've seen and how knowledgeable you are. He's also always collaborated with veterans who've come in, experienced players who've come in on this team. Have you started feeling that so far? Ideas going back and forth? I know you just got back
Yeah.
stateside, but
Yeah, we haven't been bouncing any specific football off each other. He talked about it a little bit in the highlight tapes he was sending me of myself. So he knows my football acumen, and it's nothing I'm going to come in put my foot down. I know ball so much, do it my way, but it kind of just helps when you guys both see it the same way. And right now I kind of envision it looking like that for the year.
How about the opportunity to work with a rising receiver like Puka Nacua?
Yeah, I mean, great opportunity. Somebody that I was a big fan of, when he first got in the league. Didn't know much of him because I don't really watch too much college football, when he got into the league. But seeing what he did that first half of the season, I'm like, okay, this guy he got what it takes, that's for sure. And then as I continue to watch and see, how he finished the year, stuff like that doesn't happen on accident. He's got the God-given. He's got an amazing electric personality. He's smiling every time I see him, or every time I talk to him. His crying faces are LOL, so he's a happy dude. So it's a good young player. He reminds me of a couple other guys I've come across in the past few years. So it'll be fun, being alongside somebody like that.
What did it mean for him to make the number change, and were there any backroom negotiations?
No, I actually woke up to a text and a missed call from my agent and Sean when everything was basically done, and I was jet lagged as hell, so I was trying to get adjusted, and I woke up and I'm having a conversation with him before I could even brush my teeth, and he's telling me that Puka was already changing. I didn't even talk to him about it, so I think it was his plan already changed to 12. I don't know if when, but I know that before I even knew for sure if I was headed to LA, he was already talking about wearing 12. So I did not, for everybody out there that want to hate me for making them buy new jerseys, I did not tell him, I didn't pay him, I didn't do anything. That was out of the kindness of his heart and where he wore it in college, so I guess it made sense.
How do you plan to create chemistry with Matthew Stafford? You played with a lot of QBs that you played with before. Now you're going into a new system, a new quarterback. How do you plan to create that chemistry early on?
Well, just through communication. That's the biggest way. That's the way I learned. I started in this game playing with Aaron Rodgers, and he's one of the most detail-oriented football players that this game's ever seen. So me coming in, I was raw and didn't really have the same outlook on the game as what I do now, and that changed over time. Just sometimes being with certain people, it allows you to kind of elevate your mental approach. Like I said, just that football acumen in general. So it'll just be another step and another person to communicate with, and just so happens it's going to be one of the better quarterbacks to play this game. So excited.
telling us a little bit about your family that you brought with you today, just so we can get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. No, I came here today. I got my wife, Devin, is here, and my youngest kid, Drayson, he's back there smiling. He was screaming inside a second ago, so he decided he's going to chill out now. And I got two other girls that are at home right now. They were supposed to make the trip, but with the weather being a little chilly out here and them being sick, I just decided it was probably not the best thing to do. So we'll get him back out here soon. But yeah, just got one of the three right now with me.
How many Dodger games will we see that?
Well, I'm a big what do they call it? What do they call it when you just jump around the team to team? I'm a bandwagon for whatever I'm currently, like I was at the Knicks game when I was in New York, so I like to go and have fun and be supportive of who, I wouldn't call it a bandwagon, but I like to support whoever, I'm sharing the city with. So hopefully a decent amount. And it started off, Jock Peterson, I went to high school with him and been knowing him since a kid, so I guess I kind of was a Dodgers fan before this a little bit, so this is the least jump ship I've ever done.
How's it feel to be back, Grant?
Yeah, it feels great. Very happy to be back. Being from LA and back close to family, so we're very excited to be home.
How did this kind of come together for you?
Kind of just how free agency progresses. You never really know where you're going to start, and then as things progress, you get a feel for more teams and stuff like that. And this one, just started happening, and I was, excited to get back here.
When your agent told you that this was a possibility or not, what was your initial reaction and your families as well?
Yeah, I was definitely excited. As I learned from free agency, you don't really want to put too much hope into one thing. You kind of want to go with the flow and see how it progresses. So I was definitely excited about it, and I'm really happy to be here.
Watching from afar last year, seeing some of the things that they did to adjust up front, obviously, Steve continues to emerge, and K-Dot and the two tackles. What is your assessment from afar on what this line looks like, and how do you see yourself slotting back in?
Yeah, I'm excited to get going. I know a lot of the guys, and then there's a couple new guys last year who I'll get to know, and I'm excited to meet them, and kind of just ready to get after it and hit the ground running, and be with a lot of familiar faces.
Being gone for a year, is there anything that you look back on, realize that you missed about the Rams organization, or things that you realize that they had done really well?
Sure. I mean, you can say a lot. We had, even when I was here, we had a lot of success. So I was just excited about the opportunity, and obviously you want to be around as many great coaches, great players, and be around family. So it was definitely exciting. Yeah, it's new. It's funny walking in. It kind of felt like it was completely new to me. So a lot bigger, a lot more space. So I'm excited about that.
The prospect of playing again with Stafford, you guys established a good connection. How is that different than the situation you were in last year with a young
Sure.
quarterback?
Yeah. Well, very excited to be able to get back to work with Matthew, and as we said, hit the ground running, and Caleb, being able to work with him was an awesome opportunity. He's a great guy and he's a great competitor, and I only see success in his future. So I'm excited to get work with Matthew, and I was also very happy and love the opportunity I got to work with Caleb.
What was Matthew's reaction? We know he really liked playing with you when you were here.
Mm-hmm.
What was his reaction to you?
Yeah, he just sent me a nice text, just like welcome back and good to have you back, and it's great. It was great to hear from him, and we're excited to work together again.
Poona, how did this all come together for you to be around?
I don't know. It kind of happened really quick. They're real aggressive in the process, and I just felt like this is where I needed to be.
Had a career that's had a lot of twists and turns. You got to fight to get this kind of long-term commitment. What does it mean to you to get to this point in your career?
Really, it's just a blessing, to be able to secure something like this, and just especially like being undrafted, it just means a lot.
What do you think you bring to this defense? What do you think you can offer?
Just physicality, just stopping the run and just getting after the quarterback.
What were your conversations with Sean McVay like?
Oh man, he's a character, but nah, he's a good coach. I always kind of like watch from a distance. Being in Seattle, playing against him like twice a year, I always knew he was a guy that I could see myself playing for once at some point.
What was it like for you to have the season you did last year and put yourself in position to get this contract?
It was just like that was a lot on my mind, really, especially like for everything that happened in Buffalo. I was just determined to, reestablish myself and just do the things I know I can do and know I'm capable of.
What's your impression so far? I mean, I know you're just right down the road, but this defensive line kind of collectively getting rebuilt over the last 2 years or so. What's your impression of your new teammates and what it'll be like for you to play with them?
They're young, they're hungry, and I'm just looking forward to, getting to know everybody and just like building chemistry and like on and off the field.
Have you had a chance to speak with Chris Shulin about like kind of his vision for how to deploy you in this group?
He said he wants me in the middle, like to help stop the run and stuff like that.
How much did wanting to stay in LA factor into your decision?
More than I thought it would, honestly. I kind of like it out here, out west, being from South Carolina. There's just something about out west that makes me want to stay.